Okay, so if you're watching this video, you did your practice milepost and you want to see how you did. Okay, so you can, for your problems, you can either your domain, write it in interval notation or inequality notation. Okay, either one is acceptable. Okay, so for the first one. Okay, so remember your domain is all your x's and your range is all your y's. Okay, so I know that my graph really doesn't go past this line. So this line looks like it's -1, and then it looks like my graph really doesn't go past this line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means my domain is from -1 to 6, right? This is interval notation. Inequality notation, we would just be using your inequalities and putting x in the middle, -1 and 6 on the outside. For your range, okay, it looks like my graph goes as low as this number right here. So it looks like it's -2. So -2, and it's included. And it looks like my graph does not go any higher than that line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. Just double checking. So again, there's my range in inequality notation, or sorry, interval notation. And inequality, you would just use your y values. Okay. So again, either way is perfectly acceptable. For the second one, right? Um, you looks like my x doesn't go past this line right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4 is my smallest value. It is included. And then notice that my arrow keeps going forever. And again, it's going forever and it's probably going up as well. So where is it pointing? It's pointing to infinity and beyond. So it's going that direction. Okay, how I can write this in inequality notation is just say every number larger than -4, right? But I want to make sure to include that equal sign. For the range, again, it looks like my graph is not going lower than this line right here. So it looks like 2 is my lowest number. And then again, my graph is going up and it keeps going up and up and up and up. So it's going to go up forever. And so we have infinity. So again, always assume that if a graph is going up, it's going to stay going up. And then how I can write this is inequality is its y's greater than or equal to the number 2. So when we take our real milepost on Monday, you'll just be given 2 problems, and that's it. You'll be able to redo this milepost as many times as you want to get a better score. And you can always come to my room, 218, right, Miss Cardenstern. So I also put something on the back side. So let's see that now. Okay. Now for this one, notice that the graph is a vertical line, right? So the vertical line is crossing the x-axis at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So notice that it's not going anywhere past past the number -5, right? So you can either write it like this, -5 to -5. It's one way to do it. Or you can just say x is equal to -5, right? That would be the 2 ways, right? If you really wanted to write it in inequality notation, you could say -5 and then less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to -5. It's kind of repetitive. I would probably write it like this for my values. For the range, I see that it goes as low as this number, so it looks like -2, and it goes as high as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now notice that there are open circles at both ends, which means that they have parentheses. Another way that we can write it is -2 less than y, which is less than 6. So notice that we dropped the lines underneath it. All right, looking at number 2. So again, this is a horizontal line. So again, this looks like my smallest x. So I'm going to start at 0, and it looks like it's going forever and ever and ever, infinity. Parentheses always around infinity, and parentheses because around the 0 because there's an open circle. I could also write that x is greater than 0 as your inequality. For your range, it's very similar to that first one. So notice that I'm not changing my y value. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, I can write it as 4 comma 4 with brackets. Even though there's an open circle at 4, right? When it's 0, it's still always including 4, right? So if the number doesn't change, even though there's an open circle, it's still including it. Y is equal to 4 is another way we can write it. Or again, if you really wanted to use inequalities, right? Again, it's a little redundant to say 4 is less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to 4. Like I said, I'd probably choose, out of all 3 ways, I'd probably choose it that way. Okay, so again, we're taking the real milepost on Monday. If you have any questions or concerns, please stop by my room and ask.